right now, we are in the beginning stages of trying to figure out how the heck do we make this all bosses thing work. So this is the new randomizer update. We can now choose our win condition, our goals. Right now, I'm just playing a casual seed with all bosses enabled to test it out to see how it goes. I guess we can do a little prediction on, I don't know. Can I beat this in under an hour? Yes, no? Let me know in the comments below. What are you gambling? But yeah, the idea is I'm trying to think of new ideas for like future tournament ideas, future just like ways to get people involved in racing that isn't the current meta, right? Shake some things up. So let's try it out. Let's try out some all bosses. We've already been doing some all bosses as its own preset. So this is kind of like adding the all bosses on top of another preset. Casual being probably the most like standard. It's just a randomizer that shuffles around everything, really, in a way where the logic makes sense. Like, you're not going to get stuck behind anything. There's also a win condition that requires all bosses and all relics at the same time. That could be a way to also spice some things up, make you play more of the game. Because in my mind, I want to change the way people think about routing, where skipping a boss is no longer, like, viable, obviously, because you need to kill all the bosses. However, you still have the idea of, like, I'm going to skip this boss for now because it's not fast to do it now, but it could be faster later. That sort of thing. You know what I mean? Map rando races. That is the other thing, is map rando is still being worked on, still being developed, and obviously that will change a lot. Because, like, right now, the current... Ooh... the current Allblung, Skull, Shield, Potion, Javelin. Okay. The current I can't finish what I'm saying. Super Metroid, thank you, Jesus Christ. The current Super Metroid randomizer tournament is ongoing. And the way they have it is it's a map rando, but also they're like they have different presets and different objectives.
Okay, so if we force bat in C1, a lot of chains will end on you.
Yeah, that's what I figured, right? Because that is the other issue, is that we're not allowing enough complexity, which is kind of why I'm like, oh, casual. We'll just have 0 complexity, right? How low would we have to make the complexity for it to make sense then? I wondered. I don't know. Either way. Because that makes sense to me. If you don't force Jewel of Open in the first castle, it's going to cause problems. We also have the added issue of... We just don't have the logic all set up and written out and stuff yet, right? For all the different possibilities. Also, Tooth of Vlad is huge for us. It's actually one of the few Vlad relics that's worth picking up. So... I think the issue with... So, there are certain things that I think we can learn from the Super Metroid randomizer community, because Symphony of the Night in and of itself is also a, you know, similar genre. The issue is that Super Metroid handles its progression differently, because every door in Super Metroid can have a different requirement for it to be opened, right? Where in Symphony of the Night, we just have open doors for everything. So, like, that limits us in a lot of ways. Our progression items are varied in how powerful they are. Like, for example, Soul of Bat is, like, insanely powerful. If you find Soul of Bat, that, like, makes a lot of other progression items fully obsoleted, so. Anyways, thank you for the 50 months, by the way, Ratboo. Sorry for delaying that, but I appreciate it. Jesus, we're all getting old. Oh. One thing we can learn from the SM community is to love each other and to be kind. Don't they, like... Now, don't... I could be wrong here. Aren't they constantly calling each other a bunch of Single-celled organism, small brain, cheaters. They are, but they mean it lovingly. Gotcha. Understood. Understood. Oats and Goats chat is so toxic. What do you mean Oats and Goats chat is so toxic? If I did an audit of this chat room versus Oats and Goats chat room, it'd be like a circle. The Venn diagram would be a circle. I see you motherfuckers chatting in there. Dude, Oats' chat is so toxic. Meanwhile, I'm in there saying like,
That's a snipe. Yep, that's another snipe.
Exactly! That's what I'm saying! Don't act like you guys don't know. It's the social contract that you guys engage with. It all started when... This is why their race community and culture is a little bit different as well, but... To be fair, I think it's fine to have a bit of, like, a safe space for, like, jokingly toxic behavior, but not in a way that's, like, actually serious, you know what I mean? First time here literally came from Oats' stream. That's what I'm talking about, dude! It's a fucking the Venn diagram's a circle. But also, I think it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Also, what's up, Tommy? Send you 2 seeds of the things we discussed. We'll see. I'll check it out after this, yeah. Because I do think there's something here with the all bosses requirement. Hello? I thought I was playing Spellbound for a second. My freaking Summon Spirit wasn't coming out. That's another thing, now that I think about it, is like... I don't know. Super Metroid and Symphony of the Night are very different because in Super Metroid, you can be as good as you want in the game. Like, you can literally be a god at Super Metroid. You are still incredibly limited by the items that you find. Like, if you don't find enough super missiles, like, you're not killing Ridley. It doesn't matter, right? If you don't find Charge Beam, you're not killing Ridley. But in this game, you can kind of kill all the bosses with, like, the bare minimum. It's not going to be fun, but you could do it. So, like, there's not enough, like, hard-gated bosses. There's not enough hard-gated, like, locations. There's not enough ways of making you hard in this game, is what I'm saying. We need more ways of making it hard. Rock hard. Aurochs can be a pain, yes, but still, like I'm saying, it's not impossible, right? If you drop me and Oats and Goats at the same time to fight Ridley right here, right now, however, we don't have enough ammo, and we don't have Charge Beam, neither of us is killing Ridley. It's literally impossible. Now, you drop me and Oats and Goats in a fight with Aurochs at level 1, we could, theoretically, kill Aurochs. It'd be insanely difficult and very annoying with no equipment and no, like, items or whatever, but it's theoretically possible. Yo, Tabazi, what's going on? And I think that means that the logic, because I'm talking about this from a logic perspective, I guess I should have brought this up earlier. Because the logic in Symphony of the Night is very, all of the fun stuff opens up logic too quickly. So, have we done team bingos? No, but we have done co-op randos before, a long time ago. The Symphony of the Night tracker has co-op technology built into it. It is a little finicky to get working, but you can get it working. And we've done co-op races before, like a long time ago. And they're fun. If you drop TV and Oats at the same time, who falls fastest? I think Newton figured that one out. It was the bowling ball, right? How do you handle co-op races? You share relics, and you just split up and search for clues, like your goddamn Scooby-Doo. You go left, I go right type shit. You know what I mean? Dude, I'm getting fucked by books again, man. What the a fucking plant? Oh no! I'm gonna die to weed again. We've done relay races before. One of the biggest Symphony of the Night races of all time was pre-randomizer, where we just did a big relay of all of the different categories with all the different characters. It was a lot of fun.
I'm interested in.
Leapstone's an interesting one. Library card for 200, that's huge. We probably just invest our money in the library card market. What's the worst that'll happen? What's this? I'm hearing 2,000% tariffs from Dracula himself on all things in the library. Damn. Well,
Thank you.
they're all worthless now. Is there anything else worth buying though? I kind of want a weapon. I really don't want it to be Hallbeam Dagger, but I think it's gonna have to be Hallbeam Dagger. Nah, I think I might save my money.
Farewell for now.
Healing Mail, unironically, I just need the defense. We'll go from there. I don't mean to diss you, but I could totally beat your speedrun times if I had cheats enabled, no lie. Funny enough, I don't think you could. Unironically, I don't think you could. I'm calling cap. What cheat codes you gonna use? Depends on the cheats. That's what I'm saying. Like, do they have the technical know-how to find the cheats that would allow them to beat my world records? Is kind of the question. And I'm not meaning this to diss you, obviously. We're having a little back and forth. We're having fun here. It's more so you bring up an interesting question of, like, what kind of cheats would you need to beat the world record? I'm gonna go Coliseum. Kill boss with X condition makes all bosses a bit more gated, I guess. Yes, but then we would have to modify the logic in a way where those items, like using a dagger or whatever, is then gated by the logic somehow, which we've already done with thrust swords, I guess, so it's not impossible. Video splicing? Oh shit, wait. He said cheat codes. They said cheat codes, not cheating. If you're just allowed to use splicing, then yeah, sure, you can, easy. 99, all relics, all warps open. Even then, I don't know. Because it's like, you would still need to get to the end of the game fast. Now, could any speedrunner beat my stuff that way? Sure, yeah. Also, you'd have to play on the PlayStation version, which is just slower, which is another aspect. Put all items in your inventory. Again, like that, you still have to get to the end of the game in 15 minutes. And unless you have speedrunning skill, even with all the items and all the relics, I think you might struggle to get to the end and kill Dracula with every item in the game in 15 minutes, right? That's what I'm saying. The movement would be the biggest barrier. That's what I'm trying to say as well, yeah. Yo, how's it going, Alice? I don't know what cheat codes exist, but my money's on me. Honestly, I respect that, Fenrir. I respect that. You could definitely do it. I'm just saying, like, in this, like, made-up scenario, you would have to have the know-how and at least the skills to, like, make it work, so. With casual preset, it just means that there's essentially no logic outside of, like, there's no complexity is what I mean to say. Oh, I should turn on fast warps. Surely I could do it with cheats. That's actually, I've been thinking about runs that use cheats as like a YouTube video idea. Because there are speedruns that allow like mods and stuff for like speedrun purposes.
Is it possible to start out transformed as Bat and you have to find the Bat relic to change back then do all bosses?
Is it possible? I don't know. I would hope by now you guys realize that I'm dumb as shit and don't know anything about this game in the grand scheme of things compared to how knowledgeable like the actual modders are. So I don't know. Thank you, Fender, by the way, for the Prime. Prime subs rise up. Remember to use them before they expire or whatever. Use them on cooldown. It's free money from the government or whatever. Ooh, that's a good idea. How expensive is one of those suits with all the question marks on it, where I can convince you guys to get free money from the government, but it's free money from Jeff Bezos by using your Prime sub? That'd be a good ad to run while I use the bathroom and stuff. Dude, I can't use Summon Spirit today. What the hell? The Riddler. There we go. Get me out of here, man. But yeah, how many speedrun categories are you guys aware of that like literally allow cheats? Like a lot of PC games will allow mods that like stabilize the game. Like Fallout New Vegas, I'm pretty sure they all allow like a stabilization mod so the game stops crashing all the time.
Stop talking to me!
Oh god, it's fine. Orky Corky? Is that how I say that?
Stop talking to me!
Whoa! Whoa! Dude, we barely made it. Huge! Transformation. It's huge for us. Cheats directly, none. Spyro has a cheat percent because there's cheat codes in the game that let you unlock the final world. And there's also Vortex, which has you go through every like end level vortex. And the Spyro community, they just love Vortex. And those require cheat codes. I'm trying to think if there's more like using like a Tony Hawk big head mode fucking cheat code, you know what I mean? Like, is that a thing in other speedrunning communities? That's one of those things I need to do research on. Half-Life has a scripting category. Interesting. Okay. In a way, every tool-assisted speedrun is cheating. Yes, yes. I'm also sad Spyro 3 doesn't have glitchless, like as a speedrun category. I don't think the Spyro community generally has glitchless as like a well-ran speedrun category. Theoretically, you could be the change you want to see in the world or whatever by starting a glitchless category or something, but Doom Eternal or 2016, I don't remember, uses cheats. That's good to know. I'm probably going to bring this up again in the Discord at some point once I start doing actual research for the video. So, could a code like Big Titty Optimus Prime? That's what I'm saying, you know? Or like maybe speedruns that allow like cosmetic mods. That'd be funny. Are there any speedrun communities that are like, yeah, you're allowed to install the Big Titty mod. That's fine. We don't care. I'm sure they're out there. Banjo-Tooie has a category called Cheeto percent. Okay, okay. Isn't luck mode technically a cheat? Yes, maybe. GT code is a debug code. So Super Metroid in a way kind of allows cheats for that category. But what is cheating? That's what I'm saying. So that question right there is at the heart of the idea, and that's why I think it would make for an interesting video. Because then you get to discuss the idea of like what actually is cheating in the context of speedrunning. Elden Ring speedruns? When do they cheat in an Elden Ring speedrun? Wait, what? Yes, agreed upon rule. You guys are missing the point. Some of you might be missing the point. The point is what many people would consider like, oh, you are cheating. As to, like, it all comes down to what the community decides is cool or fair or whatever. That's the whole point. That's what speedrunning is. Spoiler alert, the idea of making a video essay is to provide some sort of perspective or point of view for the audience to engage with. Yes, I'm aware that calling everything like cheated or whatever isn't like 100% accurate, but that's the point. It's to draw in intrigue and have a unique point of view. Anyways. Glasses? I can't go to the second castle without my glasses. My boyfriend taught me how to cheat at card games today. Oh, fun. What kind of cheating? Just like lying about what the cards do? Oh, how to shuffle to keep what you need on top? Oh. Yeah, that's a lot trickier. I am aware that people stack shit all the time in card games, and that shit's like pretty devious if you're good at it. Because not only can you do it for yourself, you can do it for your opponent. Because most like official card game tournaments allows your opponent to get like the final cut or whatever of the deck to prevent you from stacking your deck. However, that means your opponent could then stack like all the bullshit cards at the top of your deck. It's a fun smiley face. And another reason why taking card game tournaments seriously is like kind of stupid, but I understand why people do it. You thought he meant Magic the Gathering? Turns out he meant like magic tricks and shit. That's funny. Edison format stream when? Never. Unless I like, because there's no way for me to stream it. Outside of playing on fucking Dueling Book, which is like, no. I'm sorry. I'm not streaming Dueling Book gameplay on twitch.television. Absolutely not. If you know what Dueling Book is, you're already cooked. I should have save split this. Fuck, I should have save split this. I'll do the bad save split, it's fine. I would watch Dueling Book gameplay and play against you. At that point, I'd rather just like do a Patreon stream at that point. I don't think it'd be worth streaming on the main channel is what I mean by it. Save split, save split, save split. A friend of mine keeps pestering me to try Yu-Gi-Oh! I would say if they are trying to get you to play the current advanced format, like the stuff that they're currently printing cards for and updating sets for, I would say no. If they're interested in playing a retro format, sure, whatever. I think that's fine. And if you play the advanced format, I don't think it's worth getting into. But if you already play advanced format, then like, sure, whatever. Like, more power to you. Are frames dropping? I have 0 frame drops on my end, so it might be Twitch, potentially, or it might be on your end. I don't know. What's my favorite song from the Soden soundtrack? It's usually Crystal Teardrop is like my go-to, but Wandering Ghost is really good. I do like Tragic Prince, but I think it's a little too... I don't know. I wish Magic had Ash Blossom. Doesn't Magic have Force of Will, which is just Ash Blossom but on crack? What the fuck is this? Nah. Boss painting is good. It's just not my favorite. It belongs in like A tier, in my opinion. But I feel like the main motif of Lost Painting is better than the actual song. Because when you take in the song as a whole, parts of it just are very not interesting. But you're just thinking of like the main motif most of the time when you think of Lost Painting, which is like the good part. Fuck Ash Blossom? Okay, as somebody who does not play modern Yu-Gi-Oh!, Ash Blossom is the only thing keeping that game together. I'm sorry. I'm very ambivalent to what Yu-Gi-Oh! Has become. But even I am aware that if you do not have hand traps, you just want to play FTK Turbo. You just want to play I Win the Game, the video game. I'm going to come back once I have the means to check Grand Flame. And we have Mist Wolf Rising, which is bad, but still doable. Entrance is good. Yeah, Entrance is another good one, as far as songs goes. It's just annoying when every deck needs a specific card to be viable. I'm sorry, but that's card games. Do you want a card game without a meta? What? That's just how you have to use good cards in your deck if you want them to be viable, yes. Maybe I'm misunderstanding your point. It's very possible. It's boring when everyone is spamming Ash Blossom and Maxi. First of all, Maxi is not in the card game. Maxi exists in Master Duel and in the OCG. Maxi is banned, yes. If you're talking about in Master Duel, then like I don't know what to tell you. Master Duel is very bad. Second of all, Ash Blossom and hand traps are a way to interact with your opponent on their turn such that they don't just win the game. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is in a state where if you do not have a means of interacting with your opponent on their turn 0, you will lose 100% of the time. Because every deck has a nuclear bomb button unless you have the counter nuke in your hand. Is it a good system? No, I don't like fucking advanced Yu-Gi-Oh! Format. So I don't think it's a good system. However, it is the system that exists for a reason. The game is lame and too fast. I agree with that aspect, but it's not Ash Blossom's fault. Ash Blossom is not the problem. Ash Blossom, unironically, is like the fucking... Oh, dude. Oh, fuck me! It's Merman Statue? Really? Before Pendulum, the game was fun as fuck. Yes, but if you revisited those formats with a modern understanding of how Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards work, it would not be as fun. Look, I'm somebody who, unfortunately, really likes Yu-Gi-Oh! But also hates Yu-Gi-Oh! So I know too much about this shit while also only liking a very small sliver of it. Ash Blossom is a band-aid on a gunshot wound? No, Ash Blossom is a adrenaline shot to somebody who just got shot by a gun. Because it's you're going to stay conscious and you're going to be able to like function, but you're still bleeding out.
What can I do for you?
I'm interested in I'm interested in this.
I forgot I had library cards out the wazoo. Which means actually Allrock's or Grand Flint is also an option. My brain isn't good at brain-elating right now. Fucking, I guess Holy Rod, whatever.
I'm interested in this.
Farewell for now.
What do I main in Edison? It depends. Right now I'm on a hybrid Blackwing list. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always had quote-unquote necessary cards. I'm sorry. If you're not playing 3 Pot of Greed in your fucking 2001 deck, your deck sucks. Sorry. Yu-Gi-Oh is bad. I'm sorry, Yu-Gi-Oh is bad, but it's also peak at the same time, but it's also really bad. This is a conversation that's like not at all news. Yu-Gi-Oh has always been bad, and it's also always been peak at the same time. Modern Yu-Gi-Oh is like 50% staple cards. That's not true. It's not. In a way it is, but it depends on the meta. The meta is constantly changing in a way where like those staple cards rotate. That's like, yes, they rotate because of the meta themselves and what decks are doing well. Again, I know too much about Yu-Gi-Oh, and I also don't like it. I'm on you guys' side, but you guys are right for the wrong reasons, unfortunately. We're on the same side, but you... Anyways. Fuck me. I'm gonna check Grand Floon first. This whole thing is a fucking shit show. Realistically, I should... Here's an idea. I'm gonna grab this. I might try and do Spike Breaker early. Well, now I'm 100% just doing Spike Breaker early. Never mind. We're good. That solves that problem. Because I wanted to check Spike Breaker before leaving. But now I can definitely do it with infinite shit. Let's design a new card game. This is why I don't like talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Because unfortunately, I know too much, but I also don't like the game, but also I like Edison, which is very fun. But also Edison is also kind of bullshit sometimes, but that's fine. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is bullshit. But like, that's okay. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is bullshit and stupid and not fun sometimes, but it's also kind of peak sometimes. And that's okay. I can't even use my mana prisms for anything. Dude, what do you mean block a knife?
Cooked. I feel they did irreparable harm to it.
It was always cooked. My thesis is Yu-Gi-Oh! Was always bad. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was never good. However, we convinced ourselves it was good because we didn't know any better. Because we were slamming down commons that we got in card packs, bought out of the grocery store, on like the fucking sidewalk pavement. And that, unfortunately, is not Yu-Gi-Oh! That's a game that never existed. Because while we were slamming shit onto the fucking sidewalk pavement, the people who had disposable income, aka adults, were buying out all of the Pot of Greeds, all the Graceful Charities, all of the Dark Holes, all the Raigekis. They were building a deck with 40 cards that were insane and all cost like fucking $50 plus. So our childhood asses couldn't afford it. We were summoning the Blue Eyes White Dragon from the structure deck without tribute summoning because we didn't know the rules. That game doesn't exist. It's just nostalgia. It is pure nostalgia for a game that never existed. What the fuck is Soul of Bat doing here? Explain yourself. What the fuck? Dude, casual... This might be bad, actually. I've changed my mind. Casual is probably not the vibe. Yeah, we're getting casualed really hard right now. However, I can actually switch to this. From a design perspective, a game where every deck has its own unique resource system is kind of sick concept. It is until you have to, well, I don't know. Yes and okay. Anyways. It's still fun, goddammit. It is fun. I agree. If you play in a way that is fun. If, for example, if you have a custom format that you and your friends all agree that we're playing these like low-powered decks and we're not putting in like a lot of other bullshit, and we all agree on it and we're all having fun with it, that's fine. That'd be impossible to balance. That's the thing, is it doesn't have to be balanced if it's fun. Let me see if I can buy like a throwing star or something. I play Yu-Gi-Oh! My whole life. I've never followed the rules. You're doing it the right way, Olivia.
What can I do for you?
I'm interested in this.
Do I have anything that I can throw? We ain't got shit to throw? Javelins, I guess? Oh, cross shurikens are right here. I'm blind.
Farewell for now.
We have to do all bosses. This sucks. We did kill Lesser Demon. We haven't killed Minotaur Werewolf yet. We haven't killed a lot of bosses yet, actually. But here's the thing is we can beat the game with this setup, so we don't do relic checks anymore. We just do bosses. Which actually means as soon as I found Soul of Bat, I should have left. Oh, yeah, actually, hold on. Either way. Let's kill Karasamon, Hippogriff. I guess I would like to have gravity boots, but that's about it. I killed this guy! This is what I get for talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! This is hard punished. Yeah, how's it going, lady? Let's go Aurochs. I'm not saying you can't have fun with Yu-Gi-Oh! I have fun with Yu-Gi-Oh! All the time because I play a format that I like with people that I like to be around for the most part. Is Yu-Gi-Oh! Fun? I would argue Yu-Gi-Oh! Can be fun, but in general, it is a game that is designed around taking the fun away from your opponent at the top level. The way you win in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is make your opponent not be able to play. That is every format. Every format is, let me find the most broken, degenerate shit that means my opponent cannot play the game. And there's very few formats that allow both players to play the game the entire time. But if you find a format that you like, whether it's a custom format that you made up for your friends or like drafting or making a cube or whatever, then yeah, you could have fun with it. For sure. Or if you just don't take it seriously and you just like to play with shiny cardboard or something. Like, if that is your goal for having fun, is to just throw shiny cardboard on a table and not care about, like, the outcome, then you will also have fun. But if you want to have, like, an interactive gameplay where your game plan goes up against your opponent's game plan in a unique and interesting way, that can happen, even at the highest level, but it's rare. It's very rare. The issue with custom formats is that no one can agree on good custom formats in Yu-Gi-Oh! The closest we have is, I think, Domain, which is just Commander, but for Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's, like, catching on a little bit, but it's, like, the other issue at the end of the day, because this is something we can all agree on, is it's kind of Konami's fault. Because Konami doesn't, like, create or support or, like, engage with other formats really at all. Unless it's some way for them to essentially be like, well, we know a lot of players don't like our modern game. They like the old cards. We're going to reprint a bunch of the old cards in, like, the super shiny mega 25th anniversary that we've been doing for the last 4 years rarity to try and suckle up some of the extra money in these, like, retro communities. Because they're not buying the new cards anyways. So that's the closest we get to, like, Konami engaging with, like, other formats. I'm gonna. I want to keep checking because I might find gravity boots. I think it's worth it because if we find gravity boots, that's like a multiple minute time save. And again, like if you have a friend that like just plays the game in their own way and like enjoys collecting the cards and like putting together cards in decks that aren't very powerful or whatever, again, it's fine. I'm not gonna take that away from you. But I'm gonna check this for gravity boots. It doesn't mean that like the actual game is good. You have to create a game inside of the game that is good. In order to have fun with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is my synopsis of why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is bad is because you have to create a game inside of the game for it to be good. Am I missing any bosses in the first castle? I don't think so. I think we've done them all. One of these days I'll get the boss tracker. We missed out on the big money drop, but it's fine. Whoa! Doppelganger doesn't matter, funny enough. So, because this preset relies on the... or the all bosses like win condition relies on the time attack menu, Doppelganger will always be cleared as long as you kill Doppelganger 40. So Doppelganger 10 always gets cleared when you kill Doppelganger 40. So Doppelganger 10 is like, funny enough, not required. Yeah, I don't know why it's like that. Again, it's the spaghetti code that exists within the game. I don't know if that's something we know. And I did do Doppelganger 10, but still, it's one of those things where that's the only boss where it's like not fully required. I'm going to do this. Yeah, we're gonna do... yeah, we'll do left side, because I didn't turn on inverted library cards. Also, even with inverted library cards, is it faster to do right side and then do an inverted library card to do creature later? I don't even know. Like, do you do right side until you do Beelzebub, and then you do left side after? I don't even think that's faster. Hello, you're not dead? I threw a bunch of ninja stars in your face. Please die. Yeah, left side warp, right side is the all bosses route. Like, I took you 20 hours? No, you got this, dude. No, you're gonna beat my world records, remember? 20 hours is nothing. You were 16 days old? So what, yesterday? How do I feel about this preset so far? It doesn't feel particularly spectacular, but I spent my prime sub, real money, by the way, on you, and you roast me like that cold. Damn, you're right. I'm toxic streamer, back at it again. Someone is a baby, and it's me. Sorry, I am baby. When you make fun of me, this is who you're making fun of. Holds up a picture of a literal child. Why is Cross Shurikens doing no damage? Am I smoking that shit that makes you stupid? Casual feels bad. Yeah, it kind of... yeah. Getting real boss baby vibes from this. So true, so true. We have the all bosses like logic seeds that we can play after this to test it out, but yeah, this preset might just not be the wave. And we even found bat early, which is crazy to think about. I'm a pro player, picking casual is obviously a mistake. That's actually very true. That is very true. Like, we have duplicator, we have a throwing star, we have bat, we have mist. Theoretically, this should be like epic as fuck, but we need an MLG Pro preset. Now you're talking. Real pros play Spellbound. As of right now, you're not lying. That is true. They are playing Spellbound. Now, how many of them are enjoying Spellbound? Who's to say? Sometimes you have to express your skill. You have to take your... When your skill is getting that way, you take them to a vet, right? To get that shit expressed. I hear it smells disgusting. Whoa. You guys remember when Hype Squad had a beta and then it got canceled? What the fuck is Hype Squad? I don't remember this. It was a melee battle royale? I don't remember this. I think it's the issue is because I play video games that look like this. Unfortunately, I am the worst type of gamer. AKA gamer who only plays one video game.
Of us enjoy Spellbound.
What? That can't be true. Zero enjoy Spellbound? Then why is it the preset for the tournament that's been absorbing everybody's brain power and lives for the last 10 years or whatever? I play retro stuff in Pokemon hacks. Yeah, I'm on that vibe right now. What the fuck is wrong with the cross shurikens? They do no damage. The hell? Can I get gravity boots, please? Fuck you. No, cross shurikens are buffalo stars that do 10 less damage. They're basically the same thing, they just do slightly less damage. Ah! Yeah, block and knives are the ones that are... Well, they even, like, at least multi-hit, but still. You're on Android version when? I already did. When it came out. And it was just as fun as you think it could be. In fact, it was better than you could have ever imagined. That's why we... the standard for speedrunning this game is on Android right now. The only win requirement is all bosses. Part of me wonders if it would be better to do all Vlad relics plus all bosses. Because right now the only options are all bosses, all relics, all bosses and all relics, or just Vlad relics. But what if it was Vlad relics and all bosses? Such that... That might be better. I don't know. All relics is basically all bosses. That's not true, because all relics doesn't necessarily mean you go to every relic check location. And not every relic check is behind a boss. Like Crossmon, for example. That's almost vanilla. You guys don't understand how randomizers work, do you? Yeah, having randomized item drops, item locations, Having randomized relic locations, that's basically vanilla. Most of the time you'll be killing all the bosses to get all the relics. Yes. That's the point. But it's not exactly the point. And it also depends on the preset. It depends on the preset a lot. Like if you're playing Lycanthrope, you start with 3 relics in your inventory. Which means there's 3 locations that won't have relics, which means you have 3 options to skip that won't have relics. And if you're playing guarded on top of that, there's 4 extra locations that don't have relics. Added because of guarded logic. So like, it's not the same. And in fact, if you were doing this in a competitive setting, you would always try and go for the aggressive skips to save time over your opponent because it's like the few things that you can save time on. Which I think is a bad thing. You're saying all bosses, all relics, might as well say 200 map. You guys are the ones watching the video game for a reason. And I think when you guys watch the video game, you don't actually watch it. You just listen to the words that come out of my mouth while I say poo poo pee pee stinky farts. And then you laugh and put a lol W in chat. But like, no. You're memeing? I am too, but you are striking at a chord that some people might actually believe, and honestly, that's more damning than it not being real anyways. It's fucked up that I could imagine it to be true. Did you ever think about that? What is wrong with these throwing stars, man? They're ass! Now, 69% map completion. Now we're talking. Can I get gravity boots, please? Sure, we'll grab all the Vlad relics. Why not? We're already here. I must be so proud of this chat. I am, genuinely. I do like my chat a lot. That is one problem that does not come up for me, thankfully, is I don't have a chat that actually pisses me off. Some streamers, they have a chat that pisses them off. But that's like the trade-off, is they usually have larger chats because they don't ban the people that annoy them. Me, on the other hand, I keep that motherfucking thing on me. The ban hammer, it be swanging sometimes. And it might not even be your fault. You might just get caught in the crossfires. I might just be grumpy that day.
I believe that all bosses is a solution to a problem that I believe doesn't exist.
What's the problem that doesn't exist? Because you might be right. Because in my mind, I think the rando is a little stale. And that's the problem that I'm trying to solve. It's both stale and a little bit, bullshit. Of course Gravity Boots is here. And I'm trying to avoid it. I'm trying to spice things up while also avoiding adding more bullshit on top of it as a way to spice it up. Because as of right now, I feel like every time we've tried to spice up the randomizer since Lycanthrope has either not added enough spice or has added more bullshit than spice. Second castle routing being a 50-50 is a problem? No, I disagree. It is a problem. If you don't see it as a problem, I guess that's like your opinion, man, or whatever the meme goes. But I do genuinely think that's problematic. I think some people like the idea of their decisions mattering throughout the seed, especially when they have like reasons, logical reasons for believing in those decisions. For it all to come down to a, well, I went left this time because, fuck it. Simply force left side? No, I think we restructure the contents of what the game is requiring such that a 50-50 like that would be unviable. Or at the very least, have little impact. Right? Because you could still, fuck it, we ball. I'm going right side instead of left side. Sure, You still gotta kill all the bosses, motherfucker. Have fun. Also, we are beating this in under an hour. In fact, there might even be a good reason to go left side first, because if I went right side first this seed, I would have had gravity boots, which would have saved me time. So it's still a 50-50, but it's like a less annoying 50-50, because instead of winning the game instantly, it is not even close. You guess correctly, you just win, there is nothing you can do about it. In like 85% of seeds plus. Versus, you guess correctly, you just saved a minute. That's a lot of time to save, but you can make up that time by executing better than your opponent, for sure. Or other decision-making spots earlier in the seed could have also made up that time. I just don't see how you could think that the second castle being a 50-50 that you have to deal with every single time not being a problem. I don't see a world where that doesn't seem like a problem at the core of the randomizer. A person guessing correctly doesn't mean if they don't execute correctly. But they still, no, that's no. Because it's not about that's a false dichotomy. You're saying you either execute correctly or you don't. There's a varying scale of execution. Hence why skill expression is such a big fucking deal. Because somebody like myself versus somebody who's been playing the game for like 3 months, that person could be quote unquote executing like still just fine enough to beat me by guessing correctly. Versus somebody who's never played the game before might be able to guess correctly and not be able to beat me. Because it's a fucking sliding scale of skill, motherfucker! What do you... It's false dichotomy!
Trouble the soul of my mother no more.
That's like the whole point is that if you are able to make up for your lack of skill such that the guess is the thing that matters is the problem. Right? I would have to, literally, in a 50-50 scenario, there are moments where guessing correctly saves you like 10 minutes. As I go all the way to fucking Galamoth. Meanwhile, you just guessed correctly and saved all of that time. It doesn't matter how good at the fucking game I am, I can't save 10 minutes over somebody who just knows how to wing smash. It's not going to happen.
What were these?
No, that's not true. The person playing at a higher skill will not always win more often. It is down to variance. It comes down to the variance of the 50-50. I guarantee if I sent a person who is 30% worse into a race versus you, but they were able to know which side to pick in the second castle, they will beat you 100% of the time. Because it's not that they are winning more likely, it is that they are picking the correct location enough to offset the fact that someone who is worse than them also picked the correct location. You're not seeing the broader picture. If I was always sending you the wrong direction, right? Or you just didn't know any better, and I had somebody who was worse than you always know the correct direction to pick, you will lose every time. And in fact, we have a data point to suggest the exact how this works, right? There is somebody who knew every location and was racing alongside the top level players, and guess what? They won almost every single race that they did this in. And they were way worse than everybody at the time. It didn't matter how good I was at the game if they just knew where to go every time. And unfortunately, you don't get to know where to go every time, but if you guess correctly and play in a way that allows you to guess correctly, it doesn't matter how good you are at the game. Just spoil the seed for racers? We could do that.
So you made it.
And I'm saying this because the second castle is the like epitome of the just guess correctly decision, because it is a large open area with no complexity for you to like dive into. Once you're in the second castle, you can basically do everything, and you just have a choice, left or right. It's a coin flip, genuinely. Most of the time, it's just a coin flip with like some amount of like, oh, I can go left easier because I have gravity boots and bat, so it's like faster to go left in versus somebody who tries to go left and doesn't have that stuff. So in this seed, it's like not as bad, but it still at the end of the day doesn't matter because if fucking creature has the final Vlad that you need and you're there first, you just win.
Alucard?
And you've played this game long enough to know that that's a thing, right?
No, it's best this way. I can't ease his torment. Someday, perhaps.
Anyways, that's my rants for like the idea that all bosses, at the very least, evens out a lot of the fuck you routing decisions is what I'm going to call them, which is I don't have a good reason for going this direction at all. There's no logic to suggest that I should go this direction or skip this one location, but I'm going to do it anyways because in my mind, if I don't skip this, I will not be able to win the game versus somebody who does. The all bosses objective evens that out in a way such that you still got to kill the bosses at the end of the day. You still have important decisions to make. And in my mind, I think there aren't enough decisions if it's just the bosses as the objective. That's my current belief. I think all relics and all bosses is too much. I think if it was Vlad's plus all bosses, that could be a solution that helps even out the late game, fuck you, I'm going left side versus right side. And also, the other thing is, you're pushing back against me when, like, how many times have I been right? How many times? We got rid of the fucking shop relic price. We got rid of the fucking clock statue not moving every other minute or whatever. These were things that I fought tooth and nail for, and guess what? We never say, you know what, we should actually have the statue moving out every other minute. We should go back to that. It was better back then. How many times do I have to be right and be crucified before we just realize that I'm right? How many times? Motherfuckers? Anyways, YouTube subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.